In Thibodaux.
At Boudreaux Electric, we're not just selling generators, we're ensuring your peace of mind. Our air-cooled Generac home standby generators come with a 10-year warranty, including parts, labor, and travel. Call 985-397-1562.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, May 30th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 86. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk LSU baseball as they begin regional play tomorrow. We'll also talk LSU football and the latest with their recruiting news. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTB. Wow, it's really May 30th already. Okay, only a couple of days left until June. T-Bob Hebert hanging out with you today. We got Alondra Villarreal and Taylor Sharp with you in studio today. Jake remains in Destin at the SEC Spring Meetings, which means we have some kind of exclusive interviews. I mean, I guess technically Sirius would have aired them, but I don't know who else has access to them, as you'll hear from Greg Sankey this morning. And depending on the flow of the show, and if I think y'all are into it, maybe even a Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart. What's going on, everyone? How we feeling today, huh? Guys?
Feeling great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. Great. Okay.
Tay-Tay? Nothing?
Yep. Taylor, anything?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to let her go first. No,
Gentlemen.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay, go game.
Excited for the baseball game tomorrow?
Yeah. Really, I'm excited for the entire tournament. And that is, it's not just LSU, though I feel like on this show we've actually pretty much just talked from the LSU perspective. One thing I was thinking about this morning is as we enter a new era of college sports. Remember, amateurism is dead and all that, right? Like now there's going to be rev sharing between the schools and the athletes. Also, I read again. I'm gonna tell you guys to take this with a grain of salt, okay? Because I've read this in a piece in The Athletic. I have not come across it in any of the other articles on this subject, but so I guess there could be some sort of misunderstanding. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but whatever. I'll just say what it is. With all of these changes, the settlement, right, where they got to do the back pay for the denied NIL payments, the settlement where they're going to give up to $20 million in revenue to the student athletes going forward. There is also a rule where I think scholarship limits are going to be removed. And so, like, with a sport like baseball, which has been at 12.8 or 12.5, something crazy like that, that they could finally have full 25 scholarship teams. And when you look at the sport of college baseball as a whole right now and where it stands, the SEC has reached unprecedented levels of dominance. And that is not to take from my old man. That is not opinion. That is a fact. 11 teams in this NCAA field. Unprecedented. A literal almost 1 in 10. Basically 10% of the field all coming from one conference. I mean, 11 of the 14 teams in your conference making it. It's wild. 5 of the top 8 national seeds. You're talking about over 50% of the best teams in the entire country coming from the SEC. And already we have seen a consolidation of power in this NIL era when it comes to baseball. Why? It's not hard to understand. Emotional buy-in begets economic buy-in. And when you are able to pay players that are not even on full scholarship, well, the advantages that you gain are massive. And so I wonder, right, as we sit here on the edge of this unprecedented NCAA tournament where you have more SEC representation than you have ever had before, is this the year where, like some sort of conference boa constrictor, you really squeeze the life out of the competition? Because right now the West Coast feels like it's dying when it comes to the great baseball players. They're all starting to head south because there's money to be had. It's a gold rush, a literal gold rush, and it may get even better if you have schools that are willing to commit to the full 25 scholarships. And then NIL on top of that. I mean, the nectar will just be too sweet to ignore if you're a great baseball player coming out of the West, coming out of the North, maybe the Northeast, wherever, any other portion of the country. Now, the ACC would potentially seem to be the main challenger to this SEC dominance. And that's one of the reasons why this LSU-North Carolina matchup is so fantastic. You also have South Carolina-NC State mixed in there. You have Vanderbilt-Clemson potentially at some point here. So those are going to be some of the games that I'm going to be keeping an eye on nationally as these two conferences try to assert dominance, try to further strengthen their position. Of course, the SEC will do so simply through adding teams like Texas and Oklahoma next year. But you just wonder, how big can it get? Because the more and more, when you look at things like the MLB draft, right, and all of a sudden you're seeing that all of the top prospects are actually from college baseball. And we've talked plenty in the past with Coach Jay Johnson about how, look, when you're recruiting guys, what sounds more appealing? Joining a minor league team and bussing around and playing in front of parents and a smattering of people, or going to college, getting a scholarship, getting paid on top of the scholarship now, having elite level facilities, playing in front of thousands upon thousands of people, playing for championships, having a guaranteed 3 years to develop before you get to the minors, grow up in a lot of ways, get to do the campus college thing where you're the big man on campus. The pitch is strong. Now, the MLB money, if you're high enough, can just be overwhelming at times, but for a lot of guys, the college pitch is only going to get stronger and stronger, and it's all coming in one league that's only going to get stronger and stronger. And it's funny because what you're going to see develop, I think, is basically like a baseball minor league, but one not like a minor league that nobody cares about or you just go to because it's a kind of a regional draw, something to do with the family. But no, like a minor league on the level of like college football. At least I believe in the Southeast, it has the potential to do just that. And so when I'm watching these 11 teams, 5 national bids, I want to know how many can fight through. Like, how clear of a message can the conference send that the SEC will be, or the SEC is the future of college baseball? If you look at the odds, look at this. Best odds to win the 2024 College World Series: Tennessee, plus 550. Right behind him, A&M, plus 600. Then Arkansas and Kentucky, plus 1,000 apiece. Finally, we get to some of the ACC challengers, okay? UNC, Wake Forest, both at plus 16. Clemson, Florida State, plus 2,000. And then you get to Georgia, LSU. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then at 11, we finally get to our first West Coast team in Oregon State at plus 2,500. Then it's back to the ACC with Duke, Oklahoma, Virginia, Mississippi State, NC State, Oklahoma State, Vanderbilt, Arizona, South Carolina. So you can see the future of the sport is right there in front of your face. And the ACC and the SEC will be battling for college baseball dominance in this tournament. And LSU will be a part of that battle with in this UNC regional. I was talking to somebody at the pool yesterday, guys, and they were maybe floating the idea of starting Ackenhausen game 1. I don't think I would do that. I think that's engaging in far too much risk. As we mentioned, Wofford has a very high-power offense. They're going to put a lot of pressure on you. High power in that they score a lot of runs, and they get on base a ton, and they run the base. They don't hit a lot of home runs. But remember, they have a true ace on the mound. Their staff sucks outside of him. But they're going to be throwing an ace game one. He's got over 100 innings pitched. He's got a 10-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I think he's got about 120 Ks in those 100 innings. Like a 3 ERA. So I don't know if you can afford to play around here in game number one. I think you have to secure a win with either Jump or Holman. You have to try to get game two, obviously, as well. And then you just got to do what you can to cobble together a performance to get one of the next two. And this is what I told the guy that pulled yesterday. I will say this. Whatever Jay Johnson chooses, regardless of my opinion, I think is the correct choice. If it works or not. Like, I don't care. Like, in coaching, you make decisions, and sometimes you call a play, it doesn't work. Oh, what an awful play call. But if you really engage with it, you can see that, okay, well, no, given the settings, the time on the clock, the down and distance, what we knew about the play, I think the play call was actually really good. It just was not executed. In the same way, let's say Jay makes a call and it doesn't work. I still say it's the correct choice because Jay Johnson's resume has proven that to me, and his actions and success has proven that to me over the last couple of years. Any opinions yet, y'all, on who you would start? Or is it still just Jump Holman and you're kind of indifferent between the two?
I don't think that Jay is going to change his philosophy from what it's been all season, which is go get that win. So I think it'll probably be Jump or Holman, probably Jump. And I'm not a big fan of the idea of starting Nate on Friday.
No, I agree. I mean, look, you started Skeens against Tulane last year. I don't think you're going to play with fire here.
Look, they have not played the level of competition you have. Wofford is who I'm talking about, obviously, but they bet 340 as a team.
Yeah.
That was one of the tops in all of college baseball. Also, you don't have a deep pitching staff, at least not starter-wise. You cannot lose this first game of this regional. If you lose the first game of this regional, you are in deep trouble. You cannot roll Ackenhausen out there. Not that I don't have confidence in him, but like you mentioned, the one ace, if you will, of this Wofford pitching staff is going on Friday. You have to combat that with one of your top two arms. You cannot go Ackenhausen.
And to be fair, Ackenhausen was awesome in those first few innings against Tennessee the other day. But yeah, that's why I feel good about him in a game 3 or a game 4, somewhere around there, if you can manage to take care of business these first two. Really cannot wait. What are we looking at, 11 a.m. tomorrow?
Yes.
Damn near 24 hours away.
Yeah.
Till the Tigers and the Terriers. Are they the Terriers?
They are.
Tear it up on the diamond in Chapel Hill.
Someone came by my office the other day and made a really corny joke. They were like, their starting pitcher's Jack Russell. And I was like,
I like that. I like that. What about this?
Please get out of my office.
Hey, is it Wofford or Wooford?
Okay. I like the Jack Russell joke better, but
I'll give it the Jack.
Jack Russell
that
joke was better. Fine.
Yeah.
I agree. But you ain't never heard Wooford.
No.
Yeah.
You're right. I've never heard
And I didn't
that.
even think about it. That was up the dome, boys.
I could tell.
Okay. That's hurtful. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, Chapel Hill. That's where I bought my first ever parental advisory CD.
What CD was it?
Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z.
That's awesome.
And I remember hiding it in the top of my closet underneath a blanket so that my parents wouldn't find it.
You had a lot of Chapel Hill facts about you personally yesterday. How much time did you spend there?
For 4 years, I spent a week there every summer. I would go to UNC basketball camp for a full week at like 9, 10, 11, and 12. And it was like a real formative time. It's where I learned to like say curse words. And, I remember going back one year and being in tears to my mom, crying, saying that I'd been saying the F word and flipping people off all week.
Dang, you snitched on yourself?
Yeah. They're good. Not Catholic guilt, but there's some room for Protestant guilt in there as well.
Yeah.
But he was obviously like, whatever. She was like, I go pray or something. I don't know. Just go ask for forgiveness.
Go confess.
I don't really know. Yeah, sure. All right. So when we get back here, got some recruiting news. A defensive lineman starting to enter the picture for LSU. Plus, what did Bryce Underwood and Harlem Berry have to say about their commitment to LSU? Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GEAUX Tommys.com. GEAUX Tommys.com. Guys, context clues. What do you think Tommy's does? Okay. You need any type of door, they got you. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding. Once again, you're taken care of. You need wood or vinyl windows. You guessed it. Tommy's is your answer. Okay. Hopefully you just got a nice little tax return. Why not reinvest in your home? Okay. Start to take it to the next level and let Tommy's be a part of that upgrade. Look, when you work with Tommy's, you're going to see why they've now won the Angie Service Award 7 years in a row. Why, when you go on GoTommys.com and you scroll down to the reviews, you see so many positive comments. And it's because the customer service, the attention to detail, the integrity, the dependability, it's all unmatched. But let them prove it to you. Make them one of the 3 bids for your next project. GoTommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a...
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's, Chris Blair from Chapel Hill, Joe Healy from D1 Baseball as we look at the Chapel Hill Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's murder on the dance floor. But you better not kill the groove, DJ. Gonna burn this house right down.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
And so
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Trendell Hussein says, LMAO T-Bob's joke. Brennan Huff says T-Bob's joke was lame. Brennan, why don't you and Johnny Hopkins go diddle each other behind the school somewhere, okay? Get out of here. I'm going to tell your mom what you and Johnny Hopkins have been doing if you don't shape up.
Trent must be a dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, because it takes one it takes a real one to recognize. Nookie says Skip said to pitch down in the handicast, which is shocking because he would always throw the best guy. That would put me into a bit of a logical either of them and their resumes. Although again, I say go for the win, go all in on it. Real quick, some LSU recruiting news. We're going to hear from Greg Sankey next. A little 15-minute sit down with Hester Dorian and Peter Burns yesterday, which coincidentally may be the widest show possible to put together in entertainment history. Greg Sankey only adding to that mix. But a new defensive line target has entered the picture for LSU, or maybe been in the picture, but is starting to coalesce a bit. And that is Chad Woodfork. Not to be confused with his brother, Brad Metalspoon. Chad Woodfork's a 4-star top 50 edge rusher. That was pretty good too, huh? That was good. Okay, there we go. I'll give you that one. A 4-star top 50 edge rusher. And it's interesting because Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples already had great relationships with Woodfork when they made the switch to LSU. And before that, LSU wasn't really on his radar. But Bo Davis, one of the first to offer him when Davis was at Texas. And Peoples, just seemingly from everything we've heard about Peoples in terms of being an edge defender coach, is supposed to be one of the fastest risers in the college football ranks. Seems like a bit of a madman personality-wise, just super high energy from reading Woodfork and what others have had to say about him. But Woodfork now has an official visit locked in for June 14th. It appears that TCU is the number one suitor for his services, with Texas Tech and LSU being in the top 3. I gotta say, if it's at a time when you need D linemen, you need interior more than edge, but still, at a time when you need D linemen, and you got a 4-star top 50 guy here, if your main competition for that player is TCU and Texas Tech, I know that he is a Texas cat, but I think you got to win that battle. Bo Davis, Kevin Peoples, you've invested so much in this staff. I think you got to win that battle. You even have the additional inroad of a friend and former teammate already on the roster in 2024, 4-star linebacker Xavier Atkins. So we'll keep an eye on Woodfork going forward. But again, I think that's a battle that you really should win. That said, right now On3 is putting on an elite symposium of sort where they've invited the top 50 recruits in the nation to come and get educated about NIL and how to protect themselves and how to best navigate the Wild West that is college football right now. And what it means is that there's a lot of media availability for these guys. And we talked a bit yesterday about Decorian Moore, the 5-star number 1 wide receiver in the country, decommitting from LSU, looking like LSU was out, and then saying, no, I'm actually going to go on a visit to an official visit this time to LSU. So Decorian Moore still up for grabs, but his counterparts, Harlem Berry and Bryce Underwood, were as clear could be yesterday that they are 1,000% committed to the Tigers. And look, Harlem Berry saying, quote, if I could sign tomorrow, I would. Seems like Frank Wilson is the main reason why Harlem loves LSU. Says he feels like his best comp is Joe McKnight. That's very exciting for us old heads who remember Joe McKnight. I'll never forget going on an official visit with Joe here at LSU and the entire crowd pregame chanting Joe McKnight's name. It was absolutely wild. But Bryce Underwood coming out of Michigan, even more surprising in just how in love with the Tigers he is. Saying LSU's been his dream school since he was 12 or 13. And here was one of his quotes about the first time that he visited Baton Rouge. Quote, me having the opportunity to see what all the hype was about and everything I always dreamed about. Just going there and actually visiting and seeing what I had in store for the next 4 years of my life. That was probably the moment that I realized this is it. So very clear-headed in his path is Bryce Underwood. Am I crazy for reading a lot into the 4-year statement? Because if you read a lot of these recruiting articles like we do, generally these top guys nowadays say 3 years. They want to be 3 years in and out, bing, bang, boom, onto the league. So maybe a bit of maturity out of Underwood there, saying that, no, look, he plans to be there a bit for the long haul, maybe not play immediately freshman year, develop, and then take off after that. When asked about, okay, what were the kind of final pieces that really solidified it for you, Underwood mentioned the development of Jaden Daniels and watching his growth from Arizona State to where he finished at LSU, which, of course, how could that not be tantalizing if you were a young, very talented quarterback? But one of the other parts goes back to Joe Sloan, man. And who knows, this was probably a factor in making Sloan the OC. But when he talks about Joe Sloan, he is effusive in his praise, saying it goes way beyond just football, the relationship that those two have. And now Sloan's in a better position than ever to develop and get the most out of Underwood. When asked if he was going to visit other schools, which he is not, and he's already shut down other coaches from talking to him, he says, what's the point of committing if you're not ready to be committed? Worry about the school you are committed to. That's mainly what it is. If you are committed to a school, stay committed to a school. Don't commit too early. Commit when you feel like it's right. He would later say that his number one goal is to be the number one draft pick and a Hall of Famer. And his message to LSU fans, quote, be ready. That's it. Go Tigers. So I am getting very excited about Bryce Underwood, not just because of the physical skill set, but because of these quotes, I think, speak to a maturity, a mentality that would potentially, I mean, you never know if a quarterback's going to be good or not, right? But I love what the tea leaves are saying. I love the little bits of information that we can try to draw big conclusions from. I think they reflect very positively on Underwood, and I'm very excited to see Harlan Berry as well in a running back room that could, that probably needs a little infusion of some elite level talent. So all good, it would appear, on the 2025 recruiting front for your LSU Tigers. Coming up next, hear what Greg Sankey had to say down there in Destin about the future of the SEC and college football as a whole. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com. They're right there in Gonzales, Louisiana. Y'all, you need metal buildings, sheet metal, roofing, trim, purlin, tubing, any steel needs. It's all there at Community Steel Company. Live and local sales team, so you get to, actually form relationships with them. They have names. They're humans. They live here. You can speak with them, crack jokes, do the Wofford, see if it works. But look, you want the best prices? Well, that's what you get at Community Steel, because they buy directly from the wholesaler and they manufacture all the products themselves, meaning there's no middleman jacking up the price on the back end. And when you got questions or you need help, you're not dealing with answering machines or online order forms. No, again, people. Community Steel is the absolute best, and they're just expanding by the day because they're growing, because their customers are so consistently satisfied, and so are their customers' wallets. So for your project, you need steel, you want Community Steel Company.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR. We'll head up to Chapel Hill to get a check-in with the Tigers as they get ready for regional ball. And as Trevor Penning found a home at right tackle. We'll talk about it 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Shout out to Sirius XM 84 as Jake Hester's been down there covering the SEC spring meetings in Destin, and he got to sit down with Greg Sankey yesterday. Here it is.
Welcome, everybody, back to the 2024 SEC Spring Meetings. Peter Burns, Jacob Hester, Chris Doring, and Master of Ceremonies for this week. Is that the proper way to say it? Commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, here with us this morning. How you doing, Greg?
I'm well. I'm not sure the label, but we're here.
Is this the most heavy kind of one of these that you've done since being commissioner? I mean, we had the coaches come in yesterday after their evening meeting, and it just seemed like those guys were befuddled and a little frustrated and not certain about the future. Is this one of the most difficult that you've had to kind of lead?
No, I don't think so. The issues are maybe as heavy as any time. When I was with the coaches, we were directing them towards thinking through solutions to the realities we face. We have spent plenty of time making observations that we don't like the situation. I wouldn't just call it complaining, describing the situation. And we're now at a time where, with this announcement last week about settlement terms, we have to move rapidly towards solutions and approaches. And so I think part of what you saw from our coaches is really thoughtful engagement. That may express itself differently with each individual, but I know some of them were, their meeting went long and they ate and then they went back to the room to try to think about it. And some probably enjoyed the evening a little bit together, but also saw a couple this morning as they were continuing to think it through. I think that's the kind of engagement we really, really need and want.
Is this the most interaction you've had with the coaches through the years? Because everyone that we've had on, they talked about all the different questions that they had. Eli had a whole notebook of questions that he was prepared to ask and said they're just trying to learn what is going on.
I don't know if it's the most engagement. They were very engaged, and when we, as a staff, we have a phrase about meaning-filled meetings, and one of those expectations we have for ourselves is that we draw everyone into the conversation, and that's something that is happening, and that's exactly the kind of collaboration you want to move towards, outcome solutions that are well-informed. People ask questions of each other. And I think that makes that kind of approach makes us all better.
Is it weird without Coach Saban in there? And would he be somebody that would be a useful asset during these types of deliberations?
I don't know. It's weird. I was here for a couple of years when he was with the Dolphins, so it's not the first time I've been. 2003 was my first spring meeting. We had a couple of years where Nick was coaching in the NFL. Did not have him. We actually had an in-person meeting with our coaches in early February. So that was you did notice it. Now, it's habit. They all have opinions. No one's lacking for expressing a perspective, and he certainly would not have been reluctant to share his thoughts. Maybe a few more ites in there had we.
The more ites, the more you're in trouble playing for him. That's what I learned, at least.
Yeah, we'd have had a few ites yesterday.
With that being said, so a lot of it of coming out and what we've talked about over the last couple of weeks in some interviews has been all about the House settlement and these issues. But what other issues? I mean, I would imagine, was that the only one, or there were other topics that you guys are diving into this week?
That is the one that dominated the conversation and did so with our men's basketball coaches as well. Women's basketball was talking a lot about the game at the national level, the NCAA's consideration of a women's basketball performance fund to reward progress through the tournaments with revenue. But that group as well had some conversation about what this settlement means. I go back to Nick. I've told a few of the reporters, this is a process, to use that phrase, right? And the settlement's not done. It's in some ways a new start to walk through a process that involves the courts and the attorneys and the plaintiffs' attorneys and the defense group, which is what the space we occupy in crafting the solution that can be ultimately accepted by the court.
What was your stance on the settlement? Like, where, with it ultimately having to go that way, did you feel like that was something you were okay with, or was it kind of making the best of the worst situation?
Well, I'll put it this way, which I said to the coaches. We need to stop thinking about the ideal state. That we're gonna craft this perfect solution, because we did have a set of lawsuits, and I think our fans are probably tired of hearing about lawsuits. I know commissioners are. And we could have continued on and gone to trial. The track record on these issues in court is not great, even at the Supreme Court level. And then the outcome of that circumstance drives you to think we ought to play a role rather than just leave all of this to the courts and the lawyers. What role can we play within college athletics, not just the Southeastern Conference, it turning to a new chapter? And that's literally the way we have to think about it. And I was one who thought that settlement should be pursued. Whether it could be achieved is an unknown, and we came to terms with the plaintiffs' attorneys, and now we have to go through the process, long-form agreements and objectors and fairness hearings, and then ultimately a court decision on whether the settlement stands.
I'm sure there's a sense of calm in the room, too, just knowing, hey, we are the Southeastern Conference, and so whatever it ends up being, we're going to be on the forefront of what's going on in college athletics, because we always have been, and we're trending in the right direction.
The way I've ended some conversations is, look, it's a time of change, it's a time of turbulence, but during these times, there's no place I'd rather be than in the Southeastern Conference. Yeah. And, there's a pinwheel graphic on the wall that people on radio can't see with 16 teams. There's a strength that is both substantial and meaningful. That doesn't mean that it's all peaceful and quiet all the time.
Right.
But when you're working through problems, you want to work through those problems from a position of strength, which is one I think we occupy.
You've always got the Greg Sankey Book Club. Every once in a while, you'll tweet something out that has, a book that you've recently read. What have you read that's kind of helped through this process that you found interesting?
I read John Meacham's an author, and he wrote a biography of Abraham Lincoln. And so I had that on my bookshelf for a year and a half. I read a previous book by Meacham about the American soul. And you finish a book about Abraham Lincoln when you're in turmoil, and you're like, man, I don't have it so bad after all. There's no cannons and guns involved. And then I picked up an Eric Larson book on the back. It's really the backstory of the start of the Civil War, just from a historical perspective.
Is that the new Larson? Because Larson's had some.
Yeah, it's brand new. So he had a great book.
Devil in the City and
Splendid in the Vial.
Splendid in the Vial.
I did not read Devil in the City. Splendid in the Vial I read during the COVID experience, as I recall. And I'd read a couple Churchill books that just guide you through leadership. And so when we talk about some of the issues we have right now, one of the benefits, I think, for us and for me is having walked through decision-making in COVID. It gives you a sense that you have to give people space to rally around a solution. I think the challenge in this settlement piece, Chris, kind of going back to your question, is during COVID there was a rallying cry, right? We want to play. We want to bring people back together, and we want to have our teams compete.
A finish line.
Yeah, you could rally around that. We want to have the games. When you're dealing with these lawsuits, like, what's the rallying cry? We don't want a multi-billion-dollar judgment. Yeah, let's go. It's not. That's not when you run out of the locker room, touch the win sign. Right? You're just trying to look at it from a different perspective. So you learn a lot from the reading. At least I do, and you learn a lot from the experiences as well.
Do me a favor. I know everybody has their hot button topics and requests. Man, will you protect the walk-ons, please? I mean, this idea that we're going to cap rosters and not allow walk-ons obviously hits home with me.
Yeah, and much lower level. I was just there as a baseball player. We do have to come to grips with the scholarship structure and roster sizes across the board. We had a really extensive conversation at an athletics directors meeting 3 weeks ago, and I observed and we agreed we need to pause. We are on a bit of a shot clock because of this settlement to figure out roster structures, and our morning will begin with our football coaches and athletics directors in that conversation. What I said to the football coaches is, let's start with the why. Why do you have a certain vision of what your roster looks like? So let's put the legalities aside for a moment, but that's a consideration. You can't just ignore that. And then said, here's why we need this roster structure. And nothing is going to remain, well, that's an overstatement. A lot of things are going to change. There's going to be a lot of change. I think that the competition itself can continue in the way that we're accustomed to, but we are going to have to adapt to these circumstances, not that we saw it, but that are upon us, and that will affect roster structure. But how do we do that wisely? How do we continue to provide opportunity across all of our athletic programs, including our football teams?
So we knew college football to be the same for like 100 years, and then it changes. Is there not necessarily a finish line to all the change that we have, but is there a point where you can get off the track, get a sip of water, and catch your breath?
I go back to the COVID experience. Somebody asked me in a kind of a forum type setting about leadership, and you make it through COVID and you do this, and these other problems have to be easy. There is no easy in this thing. Every time you make it through, like it's like the stages of a video game. You progress from one stage to the other, and it's progressively more difficult. That's life. The objective in this settlement is to resolve as many of the current pieces of litigation, and looking ahead, identifying where there may be things that can be included in a settlement that could be resolved without having to go back to court.
Right.
And I've been to D.C., I've talked to governors, I've talked to state attorney generals, to state legislators to say, we need to get out of this cycle of everybody else dictating how college athletics is run.
Right.
I understand the interest level, and I think the ability to allow the athletics endeavor to adapt and change will allow us to get back to that, that kind of normal state where we're now running the endeavor as opposed to reacting and being driven externally on a constant basis.
Do you think you feel with all of this, everything has kind of put a pause on what was a lot of realignment over the last, I would say, at least calendar year, that everyone wants to sit and wait and see how this whole thing plays out before anything else may perhaps change?
I don't think that the current, the settlement conversation has done that.
Okay.
Just because, the last few weeks you've seen at the lower competitive level, Conference USA has had some additions. They've announced, as I recall, my old conference, the Southland, is
our old conference.
I saw Stephen F. Austin is moving there. That's right. Circle of life, man. It's a small world. You played there when? Really? I was at that golf tournament, Peter. I saw you in that sand trap. I just didn't know it was you.
That was a great 86 you fired there for the Roadrunners.
That score didn't count that day, but the team still won.
That's right.
And then it maybe our level, the 4 conferences, you have a conference that goes from 12 to 2 in just a few weeks. There's not a lot of there's the turmoil in the ACC around the contractual issues, and I would say those types of things put more of a pause.
Yeah.
But I saw a report yesterday that somebody was reporting like Utah was moving, and then Utah said we're not moving. That seemed to drop out of the sky. So anything can drop out of the sky.
Listen, the main question about that is I'm trying to figure out. I've got my belt with the 14 logos. We're trying. Do we have the new ones ordered with 16? Or should I just hold off for that?
In all seriousness, I was told that's the 16 logo belt is a work in progress by the company.
He's actually losing weight.
I was about to say you're gonna have to get a little bit more poundage on you there, buddy.
And so this morning, as I was eating my syrup and pancakes and my country gravy, you see Shane Beamer and all these other people come out here with like a 4-mile beach run. So I got no problem with that, Hester. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm just looking out for you.
There's smaller logo strategies there as well.
By the way,
it's like a 6-point font.
Yeah, the pinwheel's awesome.
Pinwheel's amazing. That thing's.
That one narrows the font too. So we have a couple of the old 10-team pinwheel logos knocking around.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of space. Those 10 pennants. And then if you come to our office, we have a lobby where hanging from the ceiling are the 16 flags of universities. They're kind of that same type of pennant feel. And we're going to be squeezed for room if there's ever any more. So I think some.
All right, there you go. That was Greg Sankey at SEC spring meetings. God, I don't know if he said anything there.
Can I say that I think that Greg would love your Wofford joke?
I don't. He seemed very tired. He seemed exhausted.
Yeah, he might be too tired to laugh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I don't know if they would have
listened to chuckle. But thank you to Jake and the boys for sending that over. Congratulations, Talk Sports Guy. That was for you, that segment. Coming up next, do a quick check-in with our guy Ronnie Rance, Jumbo, as Rougarou season opened up today. Keep it locked to OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
That was something, Bob. KTZ window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. You want window coverings that, wow! You want KTZ. When you think back to like your college apartment, college dorm, college whatever, do you ever remember a time in your life when you were younger when you finally put blinds up and how much of a difference it made in your room? Because I do. I remember being in a house in Beaupre. Me and the roommates got together spring semester. We cleaned up. We put blinds up. We were like, my God, we are adults now. Nothing brings a room in the next level, brings it all together. Lightly correct window coverage. Now at K to Z, though, it goes multiple steps farther. It's both functional and aesthetic. Temperature control, lowering your bills on cooling, potentially helping out glare on the television. It's all there for you. Get K to Z out to your home today. K to Z window coverage.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
For the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. Both Dwayne Colucci and Matt Yumas join us from Las Vegas, and we're getting you ready for the NCAA baseball tournament. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
You wanted me to stay, but I can't ignore the crazy visions of me in LA.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. If Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl, and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Let's talk to our guy Jumbo, Ronnie Ranch, Rougarou, opening night tonight. Ronnie, what's up? Give us the deets.
Man, I was fired up till I heard that rejoin music. Wow.
What are you talking about?
I mean, that was intense.
I think that's the best song of 2024 thus far. You should listen to the entire Chapel Roan album, Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. We are talking banger after banger, okay? Whether it's Hot to Go, Femininomicon, Ultramodern Graphic Girl, California, Coffee, Casual, they're all great. What's up, Ron?
Well, I'm over here at Pete Goldsley Field where it's actually Thirsty Thursday and it's Throwback Thursday. So I'm more of an old school music guy. We're actually playing back old school hits tonight on Throwback Thursday. But it's opening night for the Baton Rouge Rougarou, 7 p.m. at Pete Goldsley Field. The first of 48 regular season games, 24 of them at home in the Texas Collegiate League.
Hell yeah.
Summer college baseball starts today all over the country, not just here. They actually started Tuesday in most places around the country. So if you're not in the NCAA postseason or playing in the Junior College World Series or something like that, you're playing summer college baseball, and that starts tonight at Pete Goldsley, 7 p.m.
So, Ron, what is Thirsty Thursday? What is that indicative of?
That gets you 2-for-1 tall boy.
Let's go.
2-for-1 tall boy.
That's what's up.
That's got T-Bob written all over it.
That is, yeah. I mean, that's how I used to track inflation during college. Used to be able to get 24 tall boys at Natty Light for $9.99 when I was a freshman, and that was all the way up to $14.99 senior year.
Coach,
Sad.
we're fancy over here. We only have just domestic. We got import.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, like, we're stepping up over here in Rougarou land. Plus, we got Tremonti's Burgers and Sausage. We got the all-new Rougarou Sausage Po' Boy on the menu. Yeah, Tremonti's
Love
made
Tremont.
a special.
Tremonti's great.
They made a special sausage. It's infused with cheese and jalapenos and smoked, and it's awesome. Lots of great food. The best thing about the food at our concession stand, I endorse it all because I eat it all.
Hell yeah. Hey, Ron, we got about a minute left. If I want Rougarou tickets, I want to bring the family. What are the pathways to going to get tickets?
Yep. You can just walk right on up to the gate at Pete Goolsby Field or go to brrougarou.com. We actually have a season ticket package online.
Nice.
It's only $100. You and a guest get in free to every game. Don't get in free. It's $100. You and a guest get into every game. It costs you like $2.12 a ticket. So get it online at brrougarou.com.
Yeah, Champ of the Chat says the Rougarou games are for real fun as hell. I agree. It's great to bring the kids out, maybe like your little league team, softball, baseball, whatever. If you're just looking for something fun to do this season, cannot recommend enough. Great in-stadium entertainment as well. Ron, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it. Opening night tonight, fireworks tomorrow night. See you then.
There we go. Baton Rouge Rougarou. Hour 2, EA College Sports 25 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. Guys, when I sit down to meet with Pinnacle, first off, look, if you want a pool, they're your answer, okay? You can go the spec pool route where you choose from a number of templates and then you choose detail work within those templates to really make it your own. You can go the completely custom route, but really it's any outdoor construction. You want outdoor living space, outdoor kitchens, you need bulkheads, pergolas, whatever the case may be. But what I was struck by in meeting, working with, and seeing Pinnacle was quite simply the artistry. I got goosebumps. The home that they built in Roseanne that they won all these awards for, which you can find online, will blow your mind when you start playing that video as well. But just go look at the gallery and see how they are pushing the limits, how beautiful, how functional they can make your backyard, make it the backyard of your dreams. And if you're a project manager or a designer, they are hiring. So apply now at PECbuilt.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, May 30th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 86. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk about the latest of the EA NCAA Football 25 video game. The Saints have a unique position battle on their offensive line, the NFL story of the day, and more. You can follow us on Instagram or Twitter at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 2. T-Bob Alondra and Taylor Sharp hanging out with you today. Hope you're all having a great day. Good luck trying to top Greg from hour 1, but we'll do our best. I got to admit, I'm a little upset on a personal level, although I'm excited. Did y'all see that many people got secret hands-on sneak peeks of EA College Football 25?
Yeah, I saw it.
I don't know what I did wrong. I guess I don't have enough subs on the YouTube channel or something. I think maybe like I should have applied more pressure, talked to my agent or something, because your boy did not. But guys like Matt Brown, who I'm actually going to talk to on Snaps today, he's really been probably the best source of all things EA College Football thus far in this entire process. He writes a college football newsletter called Extra Points, which I subscribe to. I'd say it's if you love college football, I'd say it's a must subscribe. But we'll talk to him on Snaps today. He got to play it. Andy Staples got to play it. Some random guy on Twitter who I then looked up, and he's like a VR YouTuber that has like 700,000 subscribers. A bunch of people got to play it. We did not, but we did learn a lot. And I got to say this, guys. The overwhelming take seems to be, and now granted, is there an element of access journalism in what I'm about to say? Potentially. Do y'all know what access journalism is?
Yeah, it's when you have access as a journalist.
It's like when basically somebody gives you access for you to say something positive. And even if it's not them like being like, hey, if you want this, you have to say something positive. They assume, we fly you out here, we put you up in a nice place, you have a good time. These are all naturally going to lead towards you saying positive things. And the more positive you are, the more we'll work with you in the future, right? So I'm not saying there's no bit of access journalism here, because I think it's impossible to separate yourself from that a lot of times. But the overwhelming opinion seems to be that this is a college football game made by college football fans for college football fans. And that they have really, that basically it is a true love letter to college football. And I would say this is in keeping with the things that we've seen thus far. Remember when we watched the trailer? Do you remember the LSU win bar? In fact, Taylor, maybe go ahead and pull up a trailer or a screenshot of the LSU win bar. When I tell you it looks exactly like what you see as a player walking out on game day, I mean, down to the nth degree, down to all the tiny little chipped flecks of paint in the exact right positions. Again, this is a love letter to college football. In fact, many of the NCAA 14 team describe after NCAA got canceled because they had O'Bannon case and whatnot, they had to find their ways to different silos of EA, some left, but many of those team members still around, and they are now back on the NCAA 25 team. To give you some ideas of the lengths that they went to try to make this feel like college football, all 100. Look at that. That is the exact. If you're watching at youtube.com/1045ESPN, where you should like, subscribe, and come hang out and be in the chat. That is exactly what the bar looks like, y'all. I see that, and I immediately want to reach my left hand up and tap 3 times. That was my pregame superstition. But to give you some proof of how devoted they are, apparently all 134 bands will be perfectly lined up in the exact correct formation that is unique to them for each pregame. They built mock-ups of all the trophies for the rivalry games so that when they're doing their celebration animations, it looks like they're actually handling those trophies. That even includes the Penguin trophies, the Golden Boot, all kinds. And maybe something that, I want to get into gameplay in a second, but maybe something that you'll like the most, neck is confirmed in the game. That's right. Matt Brown talking about it. He's seen the sheet music. It is in the game. And we said it the other day. Why would you not have neck in the game? It's the one time you could play it without STTDB. It is like because you are God and these are programmed little minds that you control, you are not beholden to the whims of the people in the stadium. So great news there. Let's get to some other positives before we get into gameplay. Dynasty mode goes very, very deep in terms of recruiting, staff building, the coaching carousel, losing coaches, hiring coaches, realistic pipelines. No NIL, which I found to be interesting, but I understand. Transfer portal, as it says right here, transfer portal supposedly as important as it is in real life. No NIL, though, and I got to say, while I was someone who thought for sure that there would be some sort of resource management NIL minigame, I understand where the developers are coming from. They're basically saying that, look, that space changes so drastically and so often, and this game has to stay relevant for a year. So can you develop a system for a system that changes daily? And I kind of take that at face value. I agree with that. You have custom playbooks, audibles. We mentioned 134 different playbooks. Can't wait to play with maybe a Coastal Carolina, something like that. They got other licensed song in the games like Neck, Mobamba. There's no Road to Glory doesn't start in high school. Do you care about that, Taylor?
Yeah, it's not Road to Glory. That's Instant Glory. It's not the Road to Glory. That's the dumbest thing I've heard. That infuriated me yesterday.
Some people are really mad about that.
That is my favorite game mode.
Interesting.
It infuriated me yesterday. I don't understand why they would do that.
Unfortunately, it looks like there's no Enter Sandman in the game for you South Carolina fans, no Jump Around for you Wisconsin fans. So it's not
Enter Sandman's VT.
Excuse me.
Sandstorm
is South Carolina. Thank you. And then this infuriated me because, again, I may have to try to get my hands on an Xbox in some way. But Dynasty will not be cross-platform. But let's get to what actually matters, the gameplay, because I thought this was really fantastic, and this is what's selling me on the game. Because honestly, what a lot of people are worried about is a cheap Madden clone. And if you look at EA business practices, I don't think that is outside I don't think you're wrong for being concerned about something like that. This could be an easy cash-in opportunity for EA. Now, I do believe that with a decade of this percolating and people looking forward to it, I think in the future maybe EA gets lazy and this starts to feel very cloney because, is it even lazy when you only have a year to develop? You can't do anything in a year, but whatever. The game development's impossible. But they've had multiple years for this. And they know that when you relaunch a franchise, you have to get the first one right. That said, we are now starting to understand some of the ways in which this will differentiate from Madden, and one just has to do with player skill level. And think about this, guys, because this is very true. The difference between a good player and a bad player in college is much larger than the difference between a good player and a bad player in the NFL, right? I mean, why is every NFL game so close? It's because these differences are so marginal. The difference between being a starter or a backup is maybe you're just 3 percentage points better mentally and you don't make the MAs that the other guy does. Like, so the point is, Madden does feel a little samey at times because NFL is samey. And this, if you have a 5-star against a 2-star, that 5-star is going to dominate. So you will very clearly feel who the best players are, which when it comes to, recruiting being such a large fundamental cornerstone of the game, I think that is awesome. And that works perfectly exactly as you would want it. Here's maybe the most exciting thing that I read about pure gameplay, and this has to come with running the ball. The way that blockers and defenders calculate has been completely recoded and redesigned. So up to this point in these football games, they used to calculate using patterns of groups to determine outcomes, right? So it would maybe take into account the entirety of the offensive line against the entirety of the front seven and have a few ways that it could play out based on how they're moving. And, well, that's how you would arrive at whatever was blocked up. Now, thanks to advances in technology and a new engine, all individual matchups are simulated. So you're no longer simulating all 5 offensive linemen together as a group at once. Instead, you're simulating tackle against the end, guard chipping with the center and then heading to a linebacker, center getting that chip and then going toe-to-toe with the nose. What this means is that you have a much wider, basically infinite variety of outcomes, which means to a much more realistic feel as a runner as you're watching holes burst open, you're watching these blocks start to take place, and I think it's, it can make this running game a lot of fun. And when you talk about college football and when you're going to have triple option attacks and zone reads all over the place, getting a realistic feeling running game is more important than ever. As far as throwing the ball, they've done this in the past, but I think there's a new system that kind of visually shows it. But throw power, like how hard you're throwing, like are you throwing on a rope, are you putting touch under it? It's going to be decided by how long you hold the button. I think there may literally be a bar now. I'm not 100% on this that kind of, will stretch out and go down if you hold it down longer, or a touch pass like all the way up. But it's just one way to kind of separate yourself. Also, better quarterbacks will be easier to control in that regard versus somebody who's a bit raw, a bit wilder who won't be. I thought this was pretty cool. So let's say you have Quinn Ewers, or you have a quarterback that's elite at pre-snap recognition. The defense is in cover 4. They're showing cover 4 shell. A message will actually pop up if you have a quarterback that's great at that, saying defense looks like they're in cover 4. Now, it could be a disguise. It doesn't mean they're 100% in that, but I thought that's kind of a cool feature. Again, really leaning into the individuality of players and separating the great players from the bad ones, and that the game itself will give you tips about what you're reading based on what the defense is showing you. There's a lot about this wear and tear system where they keep saying that every hit matters. I still don't completely understand that. I know it's going to have to be doing with a bit of play management, a bit of subbing guys and making sure the guys are staying fresh. But the bottom line is that it appears that this is not a Madden clone, and there are some really exciting gameplay developments that could mean that this could be a college football game that you will fall in love with all over again. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to get my hands on this thing. It's almost June. We are getting closer and closer. What feels most exciting to you out of that? Let me know in the chat. And then coming up next, we got some Saints O-line talk. I know. Relax, guys. Relax. O-line talk. You're like, what? T-Bob, do I care? I think you will. I'm going to offer you a little sunshine here on this Thursday, May 30th, 2024. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You go there today, located off of Airline and Goodwood. They're very conveniently located. You go there today and you can just show up, go start to the sales staff and start to explore where your next vehicle is. Maybe it's a Tundra, maybe it's a Tacoma, maybe it's a RAV4, maybe it's a Highlander, maybe it's a whatever. A Sienna. The point is, whether you're looking to buy new, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get excellent warranty coverage at a great price, maybe you just need a rent. It's all there at All-Star. And if you need a service shop, body shop, take your vehicle in All-Star. All makes and models welcome. Okay? You mention OTB, you get $100 towards that deductible. You get free professional estimate. You get text updates throughout the process, and they don't make a decision without you giving them the go-ahead. So it is the one-stop vehicular shop. Again, though, guys, if you want to start to check out the deals just online, you go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. That's allstartoyota of batonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Chris Blair from Chapel Hill, Joe Healy from D1 Baseball as we look at the Chapel Hill Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it is. Not trying to be romantic. I'll hit it.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Hour 2, we roll along. We got Munchies coming up hour 3, so look forward to that. Right now, I want to talk a little New Orleans Saints, okay? Now, granted, you may have seen some negative stories about the New Orleans Saints, such as the fact that they actually have the least amount of bets of any team in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. The least amount.
More people bet on the Arizona Cardinals than the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
Gotcha. More people bet on the Panthers than the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. I mean, I think what it shows you more than anything, first off, because of that, they don't have the worst odds, but their odds are a bit deflated. So, like, if you really wanted to, I mean, it's probably a losing bet because, of course, it is, right? It's only one team wins. But if you really wanted to, like, technically, you are going to get some good juice on it in terms of potential. But I think it does speak to how kind of deeply unexciting the Saints are in many ways right now with Dennis Allen and Derek Carr. I mean, they just don't really garner, they don't really cause any stirring in your loins, right? Like, at least the Panthers have a young quarterback and young players, and the Cardinals have a new coach and young players themselves. But yes, the least amount of bets placed to win the Super Bowl are your New Orleans Saints. So in keeping with that unexciting theme, let's talk offensive line. But I'm going to offer you a bit of sunshine here because the clouds are starting to part and I'm starting to see potential. Now, doesn't mean it's going to work out. I'm saying potential. Doesn't mean it needs to be great, but I'm seeing a little bit of a frisky future for this Saints O-line. And it starts with Nick Saldiveri. So one of the latest developments from Saints OTAs is that Nick Saldiveri, who, of course, you traded up to get in the 4th round last year, he was a right tackle at Old Dominion. So one of those small school players, a lot of physical potential. And you know how the Saints are. They trade up to go get a guy because he is their guy and they believe he can play. He's going into year number 2. That is when you'll see good players take a really big jump. Now, I'm going to give Trevor Penning a bit of a pass here because he was hurt all of year number 1. So in many ways, a lot of his year 1 was kind of, not allowed to develop like he maybe should have. But whatever. Nick Saldiveri, year 2, he shows it up at OTAs. He's lost weight, slimmed down, muscled up, looks great. First week of OTAs, him and, what's his name? Shane Lemieux, splitting reps at left guard. Second week of OTAs, Saldiveri taking all the first reps at left guard. Now let's think about this. Right now you have Talise Fuaga at left tackle, Saldiveri at left guard. You have Eric McCoy at center. You have Cesar Ruiz at right guard, and you have Trevor Penning at right tackle. That's a young group, guys. That's what, year 1 at left tackle, year 2. What is McCoy up to now? 5, 6,
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
I kind of love having your veteran be at center as well. Cesar Ruiz up to about 4 as well, and then Trevor Penning going into year 3. The reason why I bring this group up, and by the way, Penning apparently been doing okay at right tackle as well. Like, if Nick Saldiveri can even be an average starter at left guard, I think that's a great pick. Like an average, if you get average guard play, I think McCoy will give you above average play. I think Fuaga has potential to give you above average play. I think Cesar Ruiz could slot in there at average as well as Penning, which is okay with this offense, which should be put in a better position to succeed with Clint Kubiak. And so all of a sudden, you have an offensive line that is very young, that displays a lot of potential, and that are all in-house draft picks. Like, let no one say, regardless if the picks are worked out or not, let no one say that the Saints have not tried to invest up front. Because if those end up being your starting 5, again, yes, those are all Saints draft picks, many of which you may be traded up for, and guys that you have tried to develop over time. And where it gets exciting is, again, like everything else in this Saints offseason, if you want to spin it as a positive, the panacea is Clint Kubiak. Where it gets exciting is that because they are so young, in many ways, they are still unmolded. And now with a new offensive line coach and with a new system that Kubiak brings to bear, they can almost come up in that system. So if you have a lot of offensive success and Kubiak decides that he's going to be here for a few years, all of a sudden you have an offensive line that could potentially get better and better and better. And when it comes to Derek Carr trying to find success, there is nothing more important than the offensive line. In fact, when it comes to this Saints team trying to find success, there is no single position group that will have a bigger impact on this season than the Saints offensive line. Make no mistake, it is the swing position. Now, if we're going to engage with the positive, we likely, can't just we can't just ignore the negative. There is a flip side to this. Penning sucks. Saldiveri's thrust into action too early. He's just an Old Dominion guy at the end of the day. Cesar Ruiz continues to befuddle as he doesn't take steps forward and maybe takes another step backwards. Eric McCoy, who was once good, just cannot refine it even in this new system. And maybe even Fuaga isn't the guy that you thought he was going to be at left tackle. So make no mistake, it's a volatile position, okay? But my only point is it is a bit of a Schrodinger's cat situation where we don't know if the line is good or bad. We haven't opened that box yet. So at this point in the offseason, you can kind of decide what you want to believe. And you know what? I kind of like the cut of these guys' jibs. Young players, new system, new lease on life, new positions. Let's see if this group can come together. And if they can, all of a sudden, it could thrust you in to potentially being a playoff team. Again, last 6 games of last season, man. You finish damn strong if you can build off of that. Maybe there's a little more juice. Maybe you should go bet the Saints to win the Super Bowl. Be one of the 10 people who have done it. Be in that number. Granted, you'll probably likely just be burning money, but whatever. Or go bet on LSU to win the College World Series, plus 2,000. Again, probably burning money, but don't hate it from a value standpoint. What do y'all think? I mean, am I being crazy? Or I guess, no, am I being crazy? What's your reaction to really engaging with the fact that the Saints' offensive line could potentially be all in-house drafted guys on their first contract?
I like it because, like you said, like they're growing up together in Kubiak's system, and you also pointed out that your most veteran player outside of Ryan Ramczyk, because all signs point to him just not being there, is Eric McCoy, your center, which is perfect. Trevor Penning can be a decent right tackle. We know Fuaga is going to fit somewhere on this line. Left tackle, right tackle, guard, doesn't matter. He's going to play somewhere. You obviously like Saldiveri because there were solid guys left in free agency, and you didn't go after any of them. I actually posted Dalton Risner, who was probably the top guard available. You thought you could get him. Minnesota re-signed him yesterday, and you're like, we don't need him. We feel good about Saldiveri. We invested a 4th-round pick on this guy. We're excited to see what he's got. Let's give him every opportunity to win this job, which is why he's taking these first-team reps. And then, look, Ruiz is going to get the start at one guard. You think it's going to be Penning and Fuaga. McCoy's a staple. This was kind of your biggest question mark, left guard was. At least for me it was, after you decided to move Penning to right tackle. If you get this shored up with Kubiak coming in at a new system that should play to their strengths, I think this could actually be a solid offensive line.
Also, remember, you basically let Andrus Pete walk. And again, to kind of reinforce your point about them feeling positive about Saldiveri, not only do you not go after guard in free agency, but you let one walk away, one that's been here for a long time. So a true youthful revolution on that Saints offensive line. Cajun says you're glazing, T-Bob. I am. But, let he who has not glazed cast the first rope, because the bottom line is that it's the summer. I'm in a good mood. And I see some young potential there. Young, dumb, and full of confidence. Hopefully, the Saints offensive line by the end of these OTAs. Hey, Taylor, go to Devin Snow's Twitter while I do an ad read. And I want you to bring up this Derek Carr video and get it ready to play with sound. This Dev stumbled across an old Derek Carr commercial that's very funny. Hey, remember about the MMR group, guys. If you want to work for the nation's largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor in the entire nation. A little redundant there, T-Bob. But if you want to work there, apply now at mmrgrp.com. And listen, we got a variety of positions available, okay? So if you are a college student looking for internship opportunities and really, starting your life with an excellent career path and guidance, please do yourself a favor and go check it out, and they can guide you to the correct classes and courses and whatnot. If you are just starting out your career in these fields, or if you're a seasoned veteran, you should still go check out what MMR can offer you. They're headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, which we love to see. It makes us proud to be partnered with them. But they have offices all over the globe. And one of the coolest parts from when I got to tour the facilities and meet some of the employees and the students and whatnot was seeing the adventures these cats had gone on, right? I'm talking to these college kids who are already doing very advanced work, very impressive stuff. And they're, going to mountain ranges and like I said, all over the world. And they're going to go skiing, adventures, whatever. The point is, You want outstanding benefits, dynamic culture. You want MMR. Apply now, mmrgrp.com, mmrgrp.com. Do we have the video? All right, here is, okay, I want you to watch this and tell me you don't start glazing.
I need a bank I can trust, and low rates are a must. EECU's got my back. EECU saving stacks.
Sounds great, right?
That's not even your voice.
It's not my voice. Haven't you heard of auto-tune?
Is that glitter right here?
EECU, smarter banking since 1934.
Think more or less confident after seeing that?
Way more.
Way more confident.
Also, David Carr, still handsome.
God, David Carr really is so good looking, isn't he?
He is.
He's much better looking than Derek. Derek's a better football player. Then again, David thrust into a pretty awful position himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's with the Texans who were just...
who had just started, right? Like, he was with the Texans as they were literally becoming a franchise.
Look at that guy, though, T-Bob. Look at that guy.
Good God, he looks like he's out of a soap opera. Look at that jawline. He looks like it looks like that's the jaw that Zac Efron told the doctors to give him after his car accident. And unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out. Incredible hair.
Zac Efron catching strays.
Look, Ricky Stinicky was great, Zach. And I've heard Iron Claw is, I just can't bring myself to watch something that's going to make me cry that much right now. Yeah, baby.
I love the JT vibes from Derek.
That's our guy. That's our guy.
Eyeliner since day one.
That would have been my only note. Instead of, is that glitter, is that eyeliner?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was right there, guys.
It was right there.
It was right there in front of you. Shoebang says Derek's going to push for his brother's sack numbers this season with this O-line. Look, as I said, man, this O-line right now, Schrodinger's cat. You can choose to believe it's alive. You can choose to believe that it's dead. But you might as well call me Dr. Frankenstein because it's alive. It's alive. Maybe. Or they might suck. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Trash Rangers. He does look like handsome Squidward. That's a good call, Daniel Basham. TrashRangersLLC.com or go to TrashSignup.com. We're in just 3 minutes. You can make the switch if you're in Ascension or Livingston Parish. Because in Ascension Livingston, you have a choice. You don't have to use these national companies that keep the trash here but take the profits out of state. You don't have to use these national companies that don't show up sometimes, don't give a damn. No, you get to go with the local guys who reinvest their earnings into the community through churches, through little league teams, who are efficient, who are reliable, who send you texts the night before to make sure that you never forget to put out your cans. And what a distinctive can it is, that red can. The reason why when you're on your way to work, Taylor, you're seeing them all over the place, and that's because so many people are making the switch. So be a part of the movement. TrashSignup.com, TrashRangersLLC.com. And remember, anywhere you live, if you need roll-off dumpsters, they can work directly with you to find any size, price, whatever to make sure your needs are met. Trash Rangers.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property, so retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR. We'll head up to Chapel Hill to get a check-in with the Tigers as they get ready for regional ball. And as Trevor Penning found a home at right tackle. We'll talk about it 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today. And right now it's time for the Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, Tay-Tay, take it away. Shirley, you've got a very heartwarming, uplifting story for us here in this on this weekend eve.
Surely I do, right? No, actually I do not. So this is going to center around another Kansas City Chief, I guess, after winning back-to-back Super Bowls.
What is up with the Chiefs?
They're going to be like, we're going to party as hard as we can. We know about the car wreck involving Rashee Rice. Then he got in trouble for beating up a nightclub bouncer or something like that.
It was at Alondra's parents' bar.
It was. That was the exact spot, actually. And she was telling us about that during break. And there's a couple other offensive linemen that have gotten, in minor trouble here and there. We know about the Harrison Butker, him making headlines. Well, Isaiah Buggs of Alabama Crimson Tide fame.
Of course.
He now has 2 misdemeanor warrants filed against him for cruelty to animals in the 2nd degree. So here's what happened. This has actually occurred in Tuscaloosa. The Tuscaloosa PD said they received a report that 2 dogs were left on a back porch of a home that was being rented by Isaiah Buggs. They said they found a gray and white pit bull, a black Rottweiler. They were in a screened-in porch, no food or water. They said that the dogs were malnourished, and it appeared that the resident had just been abandoned. So a vacant residence. Buggs was the last one there. He had recently moved from the house and apparently just left both dogs there. One of the dogs, it was the pit bull, actually had to be euthanized. It was in such bad shape. So
what?
That's obviously bad.
Thank you.
But here's the thing.
I would agree that's obviously bad.
Yes.
What kind of butt are you going to say after they had to euthanize the pit bull for how malnourished he was? That's obviously
It's not the crazy
bad.
part of the story. Buggs' agent, Trey Robinson, not only did he deny the charges, he says that Isaiah Buggs is a victim of an ongoing submersive campaign to force the closure of a hookah lounge in Tuscaloosa. that is owned by Isaiah Buggs. He said, under no circumstances Mr. Buggs condoned the mistreatment of animals. Yeah, we've all heard that before. He said the dogs did not belong to him and he was unaware that they remained on the property. But what he said was Buggs was arrested at the Hookah Lounge on misdemeanor charges on 2 separate occasions in the past 2 months, each time with no public record. He said the city of Tuscaloosa used the threats of pursuing and publicizing both of the allegations filed today and the arrest earlier in the past couple months as leverage against Isaiah Buggs by offering to drop and not pursue them if he volunteered to surrender his business license and therefore close his hookah lounge. So it sounds to me like Isaiah Buggs or his agent surely believes that he's being blackmailed by the city of Tuscaloosa, a city that he won multiple national championships in, strictly because, well, he owns a hookah lounge and they're not happy about it. The agent goes on to say that he's declined the city's offer and he has serious concerns about the city and the police department's motivations to target the business as well as Isaiah Buggs, and he wants to bring to light the corruption in the city of Tuscaloosa.
So if he's denying the charges, then this man is going to sit there in court and he's going to try to argue that somebody planted dogs on his property, that somebody planted and left these dogs on his property.
Well, so the thing is, he says the dogs did not belong to him and he was unaware that they remained there. So he knew they were there at some point. But the city is blackmailing Isaiah Buggs because he won't shut down his hookah lounge.
What is going on at this hookah lounge? In my experience, hookah lounges are pretty chill.
Well, he was arrested at the hookah lounge
I know,
two
I'm
different
saying,
times.
but what is going on? Why do they want to shut it down so bad? All you do is sit there and just smoke hookah.
I don't know.
I mean, look, okay, first off, I think probably Buggs did the dog thing. Whoever did it, you are a complete piece of trash, obviously. May God have no mercy on your soul. These are beings that rely on you for their sustenance, for their living. If you can't handle it, find someone who can. But again, I kind of love the insane conspiracy theory that everybody's just trying to shut down Isaiah Buggs' hookah lounge so bad.
I want to see how they prove it.
I wonder if, the agent came up with this story on his own, or Buggs called him and sounded so serious. He's like, this is what happened. I'm being blackmailed by the entire city, and the agent just bought it. Because there's no way he actually believes it.
There's a closed door meeting with Nick Saban and the Tuscaloosa mayor. Priority 1, guys. We got to take down Buggs' hookah lounge.
Yeah, the feds are out here killing dogs.
Been after this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nick Saban planted dogs at Isaiah Buggs'
we have to
house.
sacrifice a pit bull in order to take down Isaiah Buggs. And they're like, look, Nick, we covered it up while he was at school. We can't do it any longer. Our hands are tied.
Can't do it.
And Nick's like, this is the reason that you guys made me retire.
It all goes back to Buggs' hookah lounge. I mean, did y'all ever been to hookah lounge? No. In high school, we used to love the hookah lounge.
You think I've been to hookah lounge?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I knew Alondra would have been. We used to go and just try to practice blowing our smoke rings.
Yeah.
A very chill tobacco smoking experience.
It honestly is a chill vibe.
Very chill.
So
vibe.
I don't really get
That's
why
what I'm saying. I've seen maybe a couple hookah clubs that can get a bit rowdy, but no more rowdy than any other bar or club. I don't.
Oh, this is a good joke, T-Bob. I wish I could take credit for it. Tiger Backwoods in the chat said the Tuscaloosa PD needs to stop bugging him.
Dang, that's good.
I mean, unless he killed dogs, then I hope he goes to jail.
Yeah.
For a bit.
I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy to be like, no, they're after me in my hookah lounge. They killed the dogs. What? But it remained
somebody
there.
planted a dead body on Isaiah Buggs.
That's the thing. He goes, I had no idea that they were still there.
That's not adding up to me. That's not. He slipped up saying still.
Yeah, he knew the dog was there.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Look, I hated to talk bad about our lovely city of Tuscaloosa down the road from us, but
gross.
I thought this was too good of a story. I knew you would enjoy it. Alondra loves conspiracy theories. I thought this was a story for everyone.
Something about that chair just attracts conspiracy theories. Mario did too.
Oh my god! But
Okay, give me one. Give me one. Speaking of what?
I don't think Helen Keller was blind and deaf.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm actually in agreement with Alondra on this one.
So tell me why.
Okay, I don't know if she wasn't blind or deaf. I don't think she did the things that people said she did.
This is my issue with y'all's logic, is y'all's logic simply comes down to you just believe it's impossible.
No, I don't believe it's impossible. Somebody told her, or somebody said, Helen Keller flew this plane. She didn't actually fly that plane. I'm not saying she wasn't actually blind or deaf. She did not fly a plane
I don't think she was
as being blind or deaf. She did not do that.
She was definitely one or the other, but not
Nobody
both.
would even sign off on that for that to happen.
What are you talking about? Like flying a solo flight?
She said she flew. Well, she had
solo
a
flight or a
co-pilot
co-pilot
with her, but she flew the plane.
She had a co-pilot. What are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying.
I could
She
close
sat
my
there and the
eyes and put
co-pilot
in.
did everything.
I could close my eyes and put in earplugs and go sit there and hold
So
the
I'm saying
joystick.
she didn't actually do these things.
I don't think like, you got to give me some better argument than you just can't wrap your head around it.
I mean,
because human
I wasn't
beings
there.
can be pushed to the extreme when the situation requires it. We see it time and time again throughout history.
Also, have you seen the people talk, like multiple celebrities saying that they don't think Stevie Wonder is blind?
Yeah.
You ever heard the Shaq clip about that?
No.
Shaq said that they were staying in a hotel. It was like some celebrity event, a ton of A-list celebrities. He gets on the elevator and he says that Stevie Wonder's already in the elevator.
Yeah.
He says, I walk in, I don't make a noise, I don't even breathe. He goes, all of a sudden, Stevie Wonder turns his head and goes, hey, Shaq, what up, Big Diesel?
The elevator probably went down a little bit.
I'm about to say, I think Shaq is supremely overestimating the aura that he gives off. He didn't breathe. You could probably hear that man breathing for 5 minutes away.
I don't care how famous a person is. I can have my eyes closed. They get on the elevator with me. I'm not going to know who's on there with me.
Bruh, if you had your eyes closed and Shaq walked onto the elevator, I think there is a very good chance you would feel him.
I'll be like, there's a large person on the elevator with me. I'm going to know that it's Shaq.
You are tripping, dude. That is. Stevie Wonder, if you grow up blind too, obviously all your other senses get sharpened. Have you ever seen Daredevil? Are you an idiot?
Yeah.
All right, we got to go to break. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Yeah, check. I didn't make a sound. I didn't even breathe. Hey, what's up, Stevie? CentralPlumbing.org. Go there today. 50 years in the plumbing game, y'all. Meaning you can't hit them with a problem that they don't know how to solve. But it's not just problems, bathroom remodels, upgrades. It's all there for you. Central Plumbing. So maybe you're looking for like a gift idea for the wife, the husband. You know, it goes a long way. Bathroom remodel. Maybe you got a bunch of kids now running out of hot water. What about a tankless water heater? Never worry about it again. There's a bunch of distinct advantages when you work with Central Plumbing. The flat rate pricing, the fact that everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured, and they send you information about who's coming in your home ahead of time, the great warranty coverage once the work is done, and the 24/7 emergency service so that they are there when you need them most. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
For the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. Both Dwayne Colucci and Matt Yumas join us from Las Vegas, and we're getting you ready for the NCAA baseball tournament. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's fine. It's cool.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
Taylor, look, this next line's for you. That's you. So this is a Chapel Roan's new single, Good Luck, Babe. Not on Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, but, guys, already has 128 million plays on Spotify. Please, for the love of God, Chapel, come to New Orleans. Why don't you have any tour dates in New Orleans? I will be front row. I will be front row. I will do anything, Chapel. I will never doubt you, okay? I'm here for you. Whatever you need. You tell me, I'm here for you. Here's a problem that I have with y'all's Helen Keller doubt. She was incredibly famous during her own life, right? So she's constantly interacting with people.
This is back in the
So
day.
you think she 1946 is not that long ago. That's when she flew the airplane.
Yeah, but do you know how much we've developed as a society since 1946? A lot.
In June 1946, an airplane traveled from Rome to Paris, crossing over the Mediterranean Sea. There's nothing unusual about this flight except for one thing. For 20 minutes on the plane's journey, one of its passengers became its pilot. The passenger, Dr. Helen Keller. Doctor.
Blind and deaf.
An American author, educator, and activist who since childhood had been both blind and deaf.
Nope. Here's what happened. I can tell you exactly what happened. He put it on Copilot or Autopilot or
Keller
whatever.
was known across the United States by the time she was 6. Kellen was yeah, definitely there was.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Dang.
Keller had been known across the United, I think World War II planes. I mean, yeah, this is not World War I where they're like flying by planes, shooting at each other with pistols in the air, like bang, bang, bang. Like
Helen
that's
Keller shot down 3 enemy planes.
She did fly in a plane in 1919 on the set of Deliverance, a movie about her own life, which she actually appeared. Nerds. She was famous at 16, internationally famous at 24. What are we talking about?
Okay, T-Bob, all I'm saying is they put it on Autopilot. He grabbed her hands. He put it on the stick or whatever it's called, and then just held it there for 20 minutes. She didn't actually fly the plane.
Despite this, some of the public still doubted that a blind and deaf person could successfully communicate with hearing people or graduate from college, both of which Keller had already achieved. To combat this skepticism, Deliverances, that's a movie about her, producers wanted, as they explained, to, quote, show her doing all the things that able-bodied people do, including scenes in which she dresses herself just to show the public that she can, and which she sleeps, to prove to the curious that she closes her eyes. The pilots, when she took control of the plane, said that she flew the plane steadily and calmly. What's so hard to believe that she just sat there and held the plane on its course?
I feel like she just held the stick in place for 20 minutes. I truly believe she probably did that.
Yeah.
But do you consider that flying a plane? Because I don't.
I mean, if we're going to be technical about it, yes.
If
what do
I
you got to
went
do,
up in a
land
plane
it?
right now and somebody was like, hey, it's on complete autopilot, all you got to do is hold that steady. I could do that.
Well,
and I don't
complete
have a
autopilot
pilot.
not existing back in the day. But my point is, you've still technically flown a plane. What, do you got to land it to fly a plane?
I mean, flying a plane to me is taking off, flying, landing.
Okay, well, that's a higher bar then. No, I mean, of course. You're not just going to walk in a plane to be able to land it. And no, in a pre-AI age and pre-tech age, yeah, you're not going to be able to land a plane if you're blind and deaf. I agree with you there. What I don't agree with is the assertion that she couldn't do these other things, which she was very well documented doing.
I just don't know if she
and I
flew
think
the
that technically
plane
she
fully.
flew the plane. If she held the joystick, she flew the plane.
Okay.
In my opinion.
But
this
maybe
is
she
semantic
did.
argument because you're admitting that you believe that she could sit there and hold the joystick.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
And I believe she is also blind and deaf. I think that's true. I don't think they made that up. It's hard for me to believe that she fully flew a plane.
You got to remember.
They're saying that they didn't have autopilot back then.
No, co-pilot. Oh, you said autopilot? That's on me. I thought you said
both.
I thought you said co-pilot. That's on me. No, of course they didn't have autopilot back then. This is a what you call it age. An analog. This is an analog age, not a digital age. That's not a point. You didn't make there's no point.
No,
but
I'm saying
your point
that,
is it's a long time ago. So what? The public got fooled. Everybody was just idiots.
No one's fact checking anybody.
We live in the ultimate age of disinformation. In the age of information, everything is disinformation. Hour 3, big deal or no big deal next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore my sight. Refuel my hearing. Rejuve-me? I don't know if it can do that. But what it can do is make you feel younger, better, stronger. It can fight the untreated effects of aging. Maybe it's like mood and memory problems. You don't have the energy waking up that you used to have, or the energy just throughout your day. You're having insomnia. Like, it could be a plethora of different issues. But the point is, guys, these are the untreated effects of aging. And at Rejuve-me, they're the expert when it comes to combating them. But no two people are the same. So go in, get a free consultation, which you get your labs drawn. Your body will tell them where it's deficient, where it's strong, and they will customize a plan based off of those guidelines. So maybe it's HRT, maybe it's not. Semaglutide, maybe not. B vitamin shots, maybe not. The point is, there is something there for you to make you achieve your best self. RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Thursday, May 30th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 86. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have Big Deal or No Big Deal at 9 a.m. Munchie segment with Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio. Starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Y'all, welcome back. Hour number 3, OTB. Welcome in. Let's do. Wait, hold on. Before, okay, do you have some gasoline to throw in the Helen Keller fire here, Alondra?
Yeah. I don't know if people are going to like this too much.
Do you want to do it in the parameters, big deal, no big deal, or do you want to do it right now?
It doesn't matter.
All right, do it right now.
Okay, so there's also like another theory. And okay, I just want to say like conspiracy theories, I like to entertain them.
Okay.
I don't know how much I believe some of them, but I like to entertain them.
That's
like
fair.
I don't think the earth is flat or anything like that.
Yep.
And I'll entertain the idea that the moon landing was fake.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the theories about Helen Keller is that like she was planted by the FBI to make disabled people feel better about themselves.
A noble goal, I would say. Pretty harebrained scheme that could go wrong in a lot of ways. Like most governmental conspiracy theories, my kind of issue with them tends to be that, like, what's the old saying? 3 people can keep a secret if the other 2 are dead.
Oh,
like,
yeah, true.
Or it's true. You told one person, you told one too many, that type of thing.
Yeah, like I'm kind of a firm believer in those sorts of things, right? And so for her to pull off the act or nobody to be like, yeah, this is what I mean, I don't know that I buy it. But
oh no, I definitely believe she was blind and deaf. There is no doubt in my mind.
I told you
plain thing
during the break that there's this joke that like somebody I forget who it is, but there's a joke that people probably thought like there was a crazy uncle at dinner one night being like, oh, the president can't walk. They're hiding him from us. And he was talking about FDR.
Yeah.
Turns out he really couldn't walk and he really was in a wheelchair. And probably somebody was like, I heard that they're hiding him because he's in a wheelchair, and they probably thought he was crazy.
And to be fair, they did try to hide that for a while. Like early on, FDR was still like kind of shambling up there and barely able to stand on walkers and whatnot. But no, I mean, eventually it became known. They don't think he had polio anymore though now. It's something bacterial.
Like a bacteria.
I remember reading the FDR biography, which is one of the more fascinating that I've ever read because it tells you about his life. You learn almost nothing about his personal motivations. He is an enigma of a man who did not do a lot of public, like he didn't keep like a super in-depth journal or things like that. But yeah, one day he's like at his like summer house, that the kind of Northeast Hampton type stuff or whatever. He's not feeling well. He goes for a swim like he always does. He lays down and he just never got back up.
Dang, can you imagine?
Daniel Blunt says he still had a mistress, which is wild to me. Actually, FDR and Eleanor both had their real lovers living in the White House with them.
You hear a lot about that with like a lot of, there's like a lot of presidents like back in the day you hear that about.
It makes sense, dude. That was a very politically expedient marriage, and it was better for them to remain together publicly and both go about their work than to break up. Ray Shoesmith says tidbit. Helen Keller was a sex fiend. Look it up. Okay, I'll look it up.
Well, yeah, they also say that Anne Sullivan was like they were together.
Who's Anne Sullivan?
The teacher that she had that like taught her everything.
It's been a long time since I've seen anything about Helen Keller, to be fair. I just remember watching one of those cartoons I used to watch in class where they spin the water bucket around. It's like centripetal force or centrifugal force. Can't remember what the difference is between the two.
Yeah.
Now it's time for, we got Munchies next, but first, time for a big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal or no big deal. Paul Skeens yesterday on his 22nd birthday struck out 9, got his second major league win, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs.
Big deal. My dad even texted me and he was like, is Skeens him?
Oh, I saw that.
And I want to know who taught my dad that.
Dude. Look at him.
I want to know who taught my dad that.
The bar culture, dude. He's young, he's hip, he's with it.
He's not.
Is Skeens him? Actually, if you ask if somebody's him, are you actually old now? Like, is that out? Yeah. Or do people still say that? That feels like that might have been like a year ago.
What, him?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Yeah, we probably all are aging out a little bit here.
Yeah.
Big deal because it's awesome.
Yes.
Big deal because after the game, he said, they asked him how he was going to celebrate. He's like, I'm going to go smash some Chick-fil-A on the plane. Hell yeah, nothing hits on an athletic plane flight like does Chick-fil-A. Big deal because Libby Dunn wished him happy birthday. And remember, Skeens?
He's him.
He is him. He burns, remember we talked about this when I was in Chicago, burns up to 5,000 calories in a game. Drinks half a bottle of honey. This guy's so good, dude. 9 more Ks.
He's
9
insane.
more Ks. It's insane. All right, who's that?
Go ahead, Taylor.
Big deal or no big deal. We talked about Nico Collins' contract yesterday. 7 minutes ago, Adam Schefter reports that Jalen Waddle has signed a 3-year, $84.7 million extension with the Miami Dolphins. Big deal or no big deal?
Signed 4-year, $84 million?
3-year, $84 million.
3-year is Jalen Waddle. Is Jalen Waddle that good?
I like Jalen Waddle.
I mean, like, what are his stats?
He's right. So Tyreek Hill gets all the, the buzz.
Yeah.
He's got the speed and everything. Waddle's numbers since he's been in the league
give him to me.
Are
Feed
right
me.
up there with him.
Waddle those numbers out in front of me and let me judge.
Big deal or no big deal while he gets those numbers? Or do you have them?
Sorry. Well, okay, go ahead.
No.
Nope.
All right, I got it. In 3 years, he's been in the league for 3 years, 3,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 251 receptions.
Wait, 3 years, 3,100 yards.
3,385 in 3 years.
So has he gone over 1,000 yards in every season?
Yeah, so in 2021, 1,015. 2022, 1,400.
Okay.
Last year, just over 1,000 as well. He's also averaging 13.5 yards a catch. This also makes him one of the top 5 highest paid receivers in the league.
That's what I was going to say, though. Doesn't that feel like too much money? Even
He's
recognizing
had injury
that?
issues. That's kind of his biggest knock.
Well, I mean, top 5. Like, is Jalen Waddle a top 5 receiver in the league? I don't think anybody would say that.
No, I mean, I wouldn't.
And you're only getting 3 years? Seems like a bit of an overpay, but at least now if you're Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDonald, you know that you have your two main receivers and your quarterback set for the foreseeable future.
Well, and here's the thing about it: $76 million is guaranteed.
Damn.
Out of the 84, so
good time to be a wide receiver. Big deal or no big deal? Will Levis sex tape. Pretty big.
It's
big deal if you're Will Levis.
Big deal for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alondra, what were you gonna do?
I was just going to say big deal. I was going to fill while he was doing his thing. But big deal or no big deal, Dustin, the Diamond Poirier, going up against Islam Makhachev, who's number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings right now.
Why don't you tell me a host of
weekend.
Bad Corner Advice, which everybody should go check out, an excellent MMA and boxing podcast that Alondra Villarreal hosts.
Thank you.
Why should I be excited about the Diamond this weekend?
Well, first of all, he's Louisiana's very own, the Diamond.
Yes, of course.
And this is a huge fight because Islam Makhachev, like I said, is number 1 in pound-for-pound rankings right now. So Diamond gets a little title shot.
Number 1 in the pound-for-pound rankings.
Yeah. So it's a huge deal. And I kind of feel like...
You think Diamond can win?
Islam, yes. Islam is really good, obviously. But it kind of feels like a destiny situation to me. Like, it feels like Dustin's like, he's like destined
help me out
to
here.
win this.
Has Poirier ever been world champion?
Mm-mm. He's
I don't
been the
think so, right?
BMF, but... No, he fought... Who did he fight? Justin Gaethje. And then Justin Gaethje
what did
won
he
the
have to do to
BMF.
earn this title shot?
He beat BSD.
Okay.
And then, that's pretty much it. Like, he beat BSD and they gave him that shot.
So are they putting Poirier here because they're kind of they think he's going to help put the other guy over, or do they think, or like, do you think Poirier has a real shot here?
I think he has a real shot, but also Dustin's like the people's champ.
Yeah,
you know,
that is
people
true.
love
Love him.
Dustin.
Yes.
So I think that they just want to see Dustin go up against number 1 Islam and see what goes. I think that Dustin has a chance to win this, but I don't know. Islam's really, really good.
You have
he beat Volk twice.
You have piqued my interest. Maybe we can check it out this weekend.
I'll send you the link.
Send me the link. Well, like an illegal link, you're saying? Oh.
Wink, wink.
Oh, nice. Nice. Any more big deals or no big deals, guys?
Yeah, I got one. So Mark Sears, he was the Alabama point guard last year, one of the best players in the country. Second team All-American, average over 21 points per game. 44% from 3, one of the highest in the country. He was in the NBA draft until yesterday when he withdrew his name. He's going back to Alabama for another year. That's the second Alabama player. He joins Jaron Stevenson to return to Nate Oates in Alabama. This is a Final Four squad from a year ago, and they get one of the best players in the country back. Big deal or no big deal?
I mean, the Sears family must be on hard times if he's going back to school for that NIL money. I thought he would have been taken care of. No, I don't care. I don't give a damn at all. Not only just because it's a positive story about Alabama, but for me personally, if LSU does really good at men's basketball, I'll lock in and I have fun with it, but I don't really give a damn about men's college basketball at all.
Well, what a good one to end it on.
Abba Marzwani says this is the first fight that Dustin's bringing his young daughter to as well.
Yeah.
Bit of destiny.
Mm-hmm. And the stadium is on Lafayette Street.
Oh, no way.
In New Jersey.
Okay,
Yeah.
dude.
His daughter named Destiny.
Is that a lie?
No, I made that up.
Okay,
You
I
made
thought
that
so.
up.
It might actually be. I'll check.
The
It's
Marquis
not.
de Lafayette.
So,
Go
shout out
Diamond.
Diamond.
Let's go, Diamond.
I'm
Shock
excited.
the world. Do it for the boot. Doot for the boot.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we got Munchies. Hashtag Munchies. Chef Michael Johnson. Keep it locked right here. Get your questions in the chat. More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
ColemanRoof.com. You want the most reliable, the most respected, and the most complete roofing company in Louisiana. Well, guess what, guys? You want Coleman. Let's explore these terms that I just gave you. Reliable and respected. How do they prove that to you? With their effort, with their energy, with their intensity, with their attention to detail, with how they approach every single project with 110% effort and leave no stone unturned to make sure that they get the job done correctly for you and you leave a satisfied customer. And it's the planning process, the actual building itself, the cleanup, all of it. Okay. What about complete? How about any size job, commercial or residential? How about anywhere in Louisiana or the entire Gulf South region? How about any type of roof? And how about the interior construction as well? So you get a leak in your home, the drywall needs a fix, they do that, and they fix your roof. What are you waiting for? ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. Chris Blair from Chapel Hill, Joe Healy from D1 Baseball, as we look at the Chapel Hill Regional and the latest from Saints OTAs. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ooh. That's the good stuff. Chef, what up? Hey, you like a little
What's up,
linger?
guys?
You like a little linger? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, the cranberries, buddy.
I think I'm probably, it's cranberries, you're right. I think I'm probably linger, dream, then zombie, maybe.
Yeah.
For my cranberry songs. I mean, those are the hits. I'm not going to pretend I know the deep cranberries catalog, but damn. I love this song, dude. Chef, what's going on this morning, man? How we doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Wait, turn it back up. Turn it back up. Let's start real quick. Turn that. Can you turn it back up? Did you pause it? Okay, because we got to do this one part right here. Turn it up. Ooh, right here, right here. Oh, God, I'm a fool for you, Chef. I love that line so much. How she hits it is just fantastic. You're doing well, though, this Thursday, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful day.
Beautiful day. I agree. Hashtag Munchies, where Chef answers all your culinary queries. How long does frozen raw meat last in the freezer before taste is compromised?
Yeah, that's a great question. It depends on what kind of meat it is, and it also depends on how well it's been preserved. Usually, if it's even at its best, you should never keep meat in the freezer more than a year. If it's been properly, like either like quick freezed or dry, vacuum sealed or something of that nature, you can definitely keep it in there for a year.
Okay.
But no longer. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like seafood really, man, I mean, if it's, so there's another thing too. If you buy it frozen, right, and it comes in and it's an original package, you could probably get more time out of it. But most people at home who are freezing something don't have access to those kind of materials, like a vacuum sealer or So I'm 4 months is kind of pushing what is realistically going to. And you asked if when it's going to impact its flavor. That the reality of it is if it's frozen slowly and it has forms ice crystals in it, then it will impact its flavor immediately, because those ice crystals, they're crystals. They're like little knives, and they perforate and tear through cell structure. And so when you thaw that out, even under a natural thaw without running water or anything else, it's still going to release liquid from the lost cell structure or the burst cell structure, and that will impact flavor. It will also impact the texture. So, like if you have a freezer, the colder the freezer is, if you're freezing it, the better. It needs to be sub-zero. If you want to freeze it hard without cell structure loss, it's got to be at least negative 25 degrees.
Damn. So So I mean, if you have a vacuum sealer, flash freezer, great, use that, or you just got to go as cold as possible. Damn, never knew that. Hashtag Munchies. What's the best beach snack?
Beach snack? Gosh, man, that's a tough question, because sand and beach, it doesn't scream food for me at all.
Really? No, you don't have like a go-to sandwich or anything that you don't like to roll up or anything?
Yeah, like I'll take a Subway sandwich, something like that, but nothing with a lot of moisture on it, that if sand gets in the air and it attaches it to it,
Yeah.
I don't even put mayonnaise or stuff like that on it, and no tomatoes either. Like plus it's hot as hell on the beach, right? So putting even cheese on a sandwich, oftentimes, like by the time you get to eating it, it's just a little strange, like it's been in the toaster for an hour, and so.
Ooh, I don't know, Chef. A good Sammy on a beach day out of the cooler.
Well, and there you go. If it's in the cooler, if you got it in the cooler and it's not sunk in the ice, and
maybe a little wet. It may be a little wet, to be fair. Might have gotten sunk in the ice a little bit.
For some reason, I'm reminded of Clark Griswold in the Family Vacation. It's got a little texture to it. So. I do like sub sandwiches like that, and honestly, you're going to judge me for this, but I will eat hot dogs on the beach. Like if you can find a grill or something like that to because hot dogs have like a natural kind of fending off of sand, if you will,
Yeah.
because like that kind of rolls off of them. And my friends who really know me well know that I will actually eat hot dogs raw, and
Hell yeah.
That's some brutal stuff right there, man. But
I used to do that when I was younger all the time, dude. Just raw dog hot dogs.
I worked in the stadium business for long enough that when I, like a good all beef hot dog, if I smell the package open, man, I gotta eat one. It's just it's like Pavlovian, man. I can't even. I lose control. It's just automatic.
Oh, that's true degenerative stuff. Degenerate stuff. I love it. Hashtag munchies. What is your go-to comfort mixed drink after a long day? Maybe not something too fancy, but just like you're sitting down, you need a cocktail at the end of the day. I know with you, Chef, I think it's probably just bourbon or whiskey straight up, but do you ever spice it up in any way?
Yeah, I do like an old-fashioned, man, or even like a mint julep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that muddled orange or the mint in the bottom, and I'll drink a mint julep for sure. But old fashioned is kind of what I prefer.
Hashtag munchies. What is the preferred pregame meal of Brian Kelly?
During the season, it's what the players eat, and Coach is a healthy eater, man. He really is. He's also a foodie, like we have little meals for him and special people quite a bit. And he's very open-minded to trying new things, new species of fish. He by and large will try new stuff, just about anything that we put in front of him. I think what will regulate whether he allows it to be on the menu or not is the crowd of people that we're feeding. If we're feeding, I don't know, it just depends, if on who he's dining with as to what the menu will be. But he's a foodie, like he really has an inclination and a really intelligent guy towards quality food and organic stuff like that. I enjoy talking with him about food.
Hashtag munchies. Do you use the 3-2-1 method when smoking ribs? I don't know what this is.
I'm familiar with it, but it's not necessarily my method. No, And honestly, we don't smoke a whole lot of ribs just because there's not a whole lot of meat on there. Like our guys, we go
a lot
more
of work.
Brisket. Yeah, it consumes a lot of space for a little bit of product, if you will. And so we by and large use stuff like brisket and pork butt, where you're getting more bang for the buck of the space. Because as wonderful as the nutrition center is, it does have some space confines as to how, like we have a smoker outside, but it's wood smoke, and if the smoker's on the inside, if I'm consuming 2 full ovens full of smoke, I only have 2 ovens left. So we have to be smart about the space that we use.
This is a personal question that just popped into my head thinking about the smoker, Chef, and how delicious the things are that come out of that. What's a better feeling? Like slapping a beautifully smoked pork butt or slapping a beautifully smoked brisket? Or is there a better cut of meat that you prefer to spank?
Man, that's like, that's a tough question.
I know.
I do like the way a brisket wiggles around, after it's been smoked.
I agree.
Pork, you guys know how I feel about pork, so I feel like I'm cheating on pork right now, even talking about brisket. But I do like the way a brisket, like wiggles around once it's cooked for about 12 or 13 hours. Yep.
What did they say? I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Put it to the test. Put that brisket in front of me. I'll take it down. Hashtag munchies. Why does the crispy fried batter on my chicken fall off, and how do I prevent that?
So, gosh, that's kind of a difficult question to answer, but one, you want to make sure that I go dry, wet, dry. So, you take the chicken fresh out of, I always rinse my chicken too, rinse the chicken juice off of it, and then go into a dry mix like flour or flour and cornstarch, probably a little seasoning in there, and then go back to the wet and then back to the dry. And that helps it stick, right? Also, making sure that it's really cold, not frozen cold, but nice and cold, because warm meat.
The chicken cold, you're saying?
Yeah, make sure your chicken's nice and cold, because warm meat tends to move around a little bit more than cold meat does. Like cold meat's kind of firm, and warm meat.
That's kind of interesting, though, Chef, because I feel like almost everything we ever talk about here is always letting meat rise to room temperature.
Well, yeah, that's in order to maintain the cooking time and in the oven.
Yeah.
But by and large, when you're breading something, it when it stays firm, the breading's not going to move around as much with. So. Plus, a fryer is meant to respond. The fryer's got 50,000 BTUs. An oven's a little bit different. When you open up the oven doors, the heat from the oven is being lost so quickly. And a fryer, it's a vat of oil, and it doesn't lose its heat nearly as quickly.
Hashtag Munchies, hot sauce in the fridge or left out?
Why not both? I think I actually do have both. So, sambal or something like that, the chili garlic paste, which I consider hot sauce, I definitely keep in the fridge. I have some. I don't know, because I have Cholula, I have not Frank's. I have Louisiana, and I have Crystal. All just depending on.
God, those are all good.
Yeah.
Those are, and then what's Is it Valentina's? What am I missing?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, you don't like Valentina's that much?
Well, no. You know what I like is it's like El Yucateca or something like that.
Okay.
But it comes. It's this habanero sauce that it comes in this. It almost looks like the neon green relish on a Chicago dog. Like it's so bright green, you just know it's not right.
Yeah.
But my God, I don't know. I love the flavor on it, man. It's good.
I had some fire yellow habanero sauce at the airport the other day. God, it was good in Austin.
So
go ahead.
Well, just a real quick story. When I was in Kansas City, I grew peppers in this garden. I down first base, but it was outside of the stadium, and I grew Scotch bonnets. I grew foot jalokia. They were all kinds of different species of peppers, and I ended up making my own hot sauce there and giving it away to the fans, and it was pretty cool.
God, I wish you could have some of that, Chef. All right, we're going to end on this one today, Chef, and this is a question perfectly made for you. Hashtag Munchies. How do you cook pork belly?
So I really like to put it in the oven about 200, 225, and leave it in there for a couple of hours and let the fat kind of warm up, melt down through the meat, and then once I bring it out, I press it. So I'll put another sheet pan on it, put like 6 number 10 cans on top of it, and then press it down so it's all one uniform form, because pork belly has a thin end and a thick end, and you slow cook it in the oven like that, press it, let it chill, and then when you're ready to cook it again, you cut it into equal squares, and it's going to be uniform size.
God,
and then put it in a scorching hot pan. You can actually take it many different directions from there. I like a braised pork belly, like with a little mirin and soy or something like that, kind of Asian style. But or you can cut it kind of thick like bacon and slap it on a sandwich, fried pork belly and banana sandwich or something. I mean, you start talking about pork belly, buddy, and I'm there's 10, 15 different ways that I like to cook it, but I always start off with the same way of putting it in slow and low, bringing it out and pressing it overnight, and then slicing it, cutting it into smaller portions.
Oh my God. I made some chorizo bacon BLTs yesterday. Now I'm thinking I should have gotten pork belly.
Yeah.
Chorizo bacon was pretty good, though. Chef Michael Johnson, executive chef for LSU Athletics. You know him. You love him. He's the man, and he carves out times for us every single Thursday for Munchies. I love you, Chef. I hope you have a great day.
Take care, guys.
Later, man. Mwah. Taylor.
He didn't say it back.
I know. He
Yes.
said take care. Taylor.
He's just not that into you.
Would you feed me pork belly? Right into my mouth?
What's the scenario?
Like I'm on a Chase recliner or a lounge chair of some sort, shirtless in a loincloth. Alondra's fanning me, and you're feeding me little pork belly, like burnt ends or something.
Can I have some too?
You're not going to fan me?
No.
Can I have some too?
You can lounge next to me, Alondra, and Jake will fan us.
Okay.
And then Taylor will feed us pork belly.
I can do that.
Can I also have some of the pork belly?
No, you can have toast.
I like toast.
Okay. Then you're in? Great. Heard it here first.
Do I also have to wear a loincloth?
I would prefer it if you did.
Okay. Yeah.
I think just so we all feel more
I'm
comfortable.
good with it. Yeah.
All right. When we get back, let's, talk about stuff that we're going to talk about. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
That's how it's done, guys. That's how you tease a segment. Just in case any of you young, aspiring entertainment hosts are wondering how it works. Get Gordon, get it done today. 225-888-8888. Oh, that's on me. Till you've all star brought up, but I went out of order. This is on me. You know who's never out of order? Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. As they're going to fight for you and they're going to get you what you deserve. So if you get an accident that sucks, that's awful, you need somebody in your corner during that time. Somebody's going to stand up to the big insurance companies. That's where Gordon McKernan comes into play. Again, if you go to getgordon.com, you can see real testimonials and results from former satisfied customers. You can see the different type of accidents that they work with. You can go ahead and fill out a form and tell them what happened. They'll get in touch with you immediately. Also, never forget, follow Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys on social media at GetGordon, where you get a lot of great content with your favorite athletes, the members of the G Team. Gordon McKernan.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR. We'll head up to Chapel Hill to get a check-in with the Tigers as they get ready for regional ball. And as Trevor Penning found a home at right tackle. We'll talk about it 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, yeah. It's almost the weekend. Oh, we're about to beat Wofford's ass at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Good music. Good friends. Got some endorphins in my body with a little 5 a.m. Evolve Burn class. Shout out Evolve.
I need to do one. River said that she'd give me a private class.
You should do it. It's awesome.
I just need to find time.
I've been real into, as I get older, I've been real into these. Oh, wait, hold on, turn it up. What's the NFL story of the day? That should be the imaging.
I like that.
I actually do like that.
It's actually good. Can we just get T-Bob singing it though instead of them?
Rub that all on my thighs. Sorry, I was saying in the chat.
Is it pork fat?
Yeah, I wanted you to melt down the pork fat and
down the pork fat?
grease up my thighs with it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how
cramping, or is it just
these
like
would look just greased up in pork fat right here? Oh my. Come on. Tell me we're not watering our mouths a little bit here, guys.
I mean, you're doing some heavy convincing right now.
Pretty scandy shorts, no?
Yeah.
They're a little short, yeah.
It's a bathing suit.
Oh.
I like
I'm
to
glad
feel.
it's not that one bathing suit you wore.
I had that on yesterday at the pool.
Stop.
And my nuts almost popped out. I like to feel like there's a risk that I could expose myself just to kind of spice things up a little bit. Shout out to Angel Reese. Got her first WNBA double-double the other night. How about that? Funnily enough, the Chicago Sky rookies to record a double-double within their first 5 career games. Angel Reese and Sylvia Fowles.
Oh, let's go.
That's the entire list. Shout out to Angel Reese, our double-double queen, kicking ass in the WNBA. Unlike Caitlin Clark. I'm just kidding. I like Caitlin Clark. Let's give her a break, guys. Come on. Like, she has an entire. I feel awful for her. Are you kidding me?
No,
She has
seriously.
like an entire sport on her shoulders. Like,
entire
guys,
league.
give her a
Yeah,
break.
but, and even Angel said something on Twitter.
Oh, what'd she say?
She deleted it, so I don't remember. But it was something like my team won. It was something like my team won. It was a team effort, not thanks to just one person on a charter flight or something like that. And it was ugly.
You gotta stay. We need a little solidarity.
It made me be like, Angel, come on.
Come on.
Like, take Caitlin's side over. Like, if everybody's gonna be beating on her, you should be the one to step up and be like, nah.
Yeah,
let's
there
not
needs to
do
be some
that.
WNBA solidarity.
Yes.
I agree.
What were we talking about the other day, T-Bob? It was like, who had more pressure, Caleb Williams or Caitlin Clark? And we all agreed it was Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Bears fans are going to be mad if Caleb Williams doesn't pan out, which I don't think he will, but that's another time for another day. If Caitlin Clark fails and like the WNBA folds or something, years from now, people are going to be like, we had a shot if that Caitlin Clark would have worked
it's like
out.
I think it's unfair because I think the rise of women's sports, women's basketball transcends just Caitlin Clark. But there are so many haters waiting in the wings. Like people love to go out of their way to crap on like stuff like the WNBA. Like it makes me laugh so hard where you all just be kind of hanging out and like the person who it's the meme where everybody's talking in a circle and you have the one person over here who like yells something out of the circle and the guy just like gives him the thumbs up, then goes back to talking. Like that's the people who just have to let you know how uncool they think the WNBA is.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shut up. I don't care. Like, whatever. Go about your day. Move on. You don't get none of this greased up thigh.
But now we get that like stereotype of like, oh, women are catty, so it's just not gonna. So it all looks bad.
Oh, you do mean on the Angel? Yeah, on the Angel front.
The Angel front and like the whole WNBA just being against.
I mean, I would hope. Now, I like her being roughed up on the court a little bit because I think it's what you do to a rookie. I would hope that we would get to the point though where you could talk trash and everything and not be categorized a catty, just be categorized as like
I agree.
talking ish.
I agree.
But
as someone who experiences that.
Yeah, right. Like it's the classic like you do the same thing that a male does in the workplace and you get called a bitch, where it's like he's just being assertive or something. It's like, come on. Shout out to Coach Dennis Shaver, named Women's Outdoor Coach of the Year for the SEC. Of course, LSU's women's track and field team, and Coach Shaver is incredible. He just adds to his already very full trophy case. Yeah. When do y'all think we're going to start tomorrow?
I would think tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
But I mean,
morning.
like what, like 9 a.m.?
I would say 9
10 a.m. Probably. Yeah, probably like.
What is it? 11?
It'll probably start to leak about 9 a.m. I would say. Games at 11, 2 hours for the game. Sometimes in the final hour, we should know. And look, man, are we categorizing Wofford as a must-win?
I think it is
I
because
think
you don't
so
have
too.
the starting pitching to come out of the losers bracket.
Yeah,
you have to play the extra game at that point.
I think so too. Ryan Brack says brown butter, so good. Burnt butter, too bitter. I agree. It is a fine line when it comes to making the brown butter. Y'all are saying there's never been anyone more pressure in sports than Caitlin Clark. You almost forgotten about Freddie Adu. Isn't there another like 14-year-old MLS player now? Did y'all
I don't know
see
who's
that?
Freddie Adu.
You don't know who Freddie Adu is?
Never heard of
I
Freddie
don't know
Adu.
anything about soccer.
Y'all never heard of Freddie Adu?
Nope.
Back in the day, he was one of the first soccer phenoms. He got signed on to, what's DC's team's name? DC United. He got signed on to DC United at like 13 years old. He was supposed to be the next great thing. He actually had a pretty decent international career, I would say. But he was supposed to be like LeBron James and just fell short of it.
I mean, the thing is, like, soccer's already like wildly popular. Not here as much, but like worldwide. So like, how much pressure is actually on you? That's personal pressure.
Well, he was like the same way that Caitlin Clark was supposed to carry forward a generation. You know, was supposed to carry forward all of the WNBA. He was supposed to carry all of American soccer.
Okay. I got
So he had a lot on his shoulders. Whatever. When we get back, more OTB. Closing the show. Ask the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Allstar Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Freddie Adu's only got 15,000 followers on Instagram. Everybody go follow Freddie Adu. You go to All-Star Toyota today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. You go start to check out some of the incredible deals that they have right there. You can explore things like the Toyota Care, the parts that they have right there inside. If you go to the service center or the body shop, to which all makes and models are welcome, okay? Doesn't have to be Toyota, doesn't have to be All-Star. So if you want to take advantage of a free professional estimate, if you want to take advantage of excellent lines of communication, whether it's texting or calling, making sure that you stay abreast of the situation the entire time and no major decisions are made without you want to go check out that All-Star Service Center. But what if you just need a vehicle, be it a new vehicle or a Toyota certified used vehicle where you get a great price and great warranty coverage to which you get to customize? Look, it's all there for you. Located very conveniently off of Airline Goodwood. Go see the team today and let them prove it to you. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink.
For the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza, both Dwayne Colucci and Matt Yumas join us from Las Vegas, and we're getting you ready for the NCAA baseball tournament. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Close out the show with a little Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench, should we steer our Talk Sports guy friends away from this show? I don't think so.
No.
There's only one show today that gave you a full Greg Sengi segment and a full breakdown of the youth and potential of the Saints offensive line. Okay, guys?
We talk about sports a lot.
Relax.
We just talked about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yeah. And we talked about Helen Keller.
Yeah.
So really,
Isaiah Buggs' hookah lounge.
Yeah, serious. Like,
yeah.
what?
I mean, what more do you want, guys? Ask the Bench. T-Bob, approximately how many hotel towels have you disgraced? How many hotels have I stayed in? And multiply that by 3 to 4. So, who knows? Thousands. Ask the Bench. Favorite song for a movie that was made for the movie? I'm guessing we're talking song, not soundtrack.
Yeah, like specific song.
The one that jumped into my head is Kissed by a Rose from Seal, which I think was made for like Batman Forever or Batman and Robin, like one of the Batman movies.
I don't know. Stone Temple Pilots has a song that was made for The Crow, but they never actually played it on The Crow because it had something to do with like death in the title.
Okay.
And Brandon Lee died on
dark.
it. Yeah.
Don't attack me. And when I mean y'all, I mean T-Bob. I don't know if this is for the specific movie, but it's what I know it from and everybody else. The Don't You Forget About Me song from Breakfast Club. Was that specifically made for that movie?
I'm going to say I doubt it, but it's a great song.
I mean, that's just what I associate
And it
with.
plays great in the movie.
Yeah,
To your point.
that's my favorite song that I associate with the movie. I don't know if it was made for that movie, though. I have no idea.
Freaky Friday, you know the one with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah.
The band
I've never
plays
seen
a
it, though.
song. The
I've never
band
seen
plays
it.
a song that's like made up.
Oh, yeah.
I
Lindsay Lohan's band.
I think Letters to Cleo did the I Want You to Want Me, their remake of Cheap Tricks, I Want You to Want Me, 4 10 Things I Hate About You.
Really?
And because in the credits, you see them playing on the school, and I loved that version of that song growing up. Ask the Bench. Do you consider it stealing if you take home the hotel soap and shampoo?
No.
What about the iron?
No, you paid
Yes,
for the iron.
yes.
The iron, yeah.
You paid for
I
the
draw the
soap
line
and
at the iron.
You're using the shampoo and all that in the shower anyway.
My dad's Cajun upbringing was strong because still to this day he has a collection. He takes home all the shampoo and conditioner, and he keeps a little like a little basket of them at home in like the guest bathroom. Pretty heady play there. That's what you're doing. Ask the Bench. Alondra, have you seen the voice video of Clarissa Cerner from Corpus singing Zombie?
Yeah, I think I have if it's the season that Shakira was on The Voice, yeah. I think I've seen that.
Hashtag Ask the Bench, Helen Keller versus Stephen Hawking in a cage match. Who you got?
Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
Yeah, I think so. Stephen's vision is not enough to overcome his physical deficiencies.
Yeah, Helen gets her hands on him. That's it.
Ask the Bench. When do tier lists start? When baseball ends.
July.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to jinx baseball. I feel like I was thinking about this on a drive yesterday. If we do a tier list this Friday, I feel like we're setting up baseball for failure. We got to wait till baseball stops. When baseball stops, tier lists are back. Scotty doesn't know.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's good. Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me did in my band every Sunday. Got to be one of the funniest cameos, too.
Yep.
Randomly Matt Damon. This isn't where I parked my car. Ask the Bench, favorite type of oysters?
Char grilled.
Yeah.
I think I prefer just like a really just tasty raw, but who doesn't get pumped when they show up to like a fancy wedding or dinner though, and they got the Drago's van out there, and you just got unlimited char grilled oysters. Can I have a confession here? What's the difference between char grilled and char broiled?
I don't know.
Is one in the oven maybe?
Oh, I think one's in the oven, right?
Broiled in the oven, grills
I'm talking out the side of my neck right now.
Ask the Bench, have you seen the first look, Tom Bombadil, for season 2 Ring the Power? I have not. Love Tom Bombadil. Oh, Tom Bombadil, Tom Bombadillo, bright blue his jacket is, and his boots are yellow. Na da da dee 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 dee, going mad da da do 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 ee, ran da 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 da. Ring doll, merry doll, is a happy fellow.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Aggietip of Baton Rouge, AggietipBR.com, AggietipBR.com. Have you have any AC, heating, or electrical needs? You live in Louisiana. You jokester, so you do. You want to hit up Aggietip, your one-stop shop for everything I just mentioned. Service to the highest degree is what defines Aggietip. It is their guiding light, their mission statement, their core ethos, and, well, it's why they have such an incredibly high Google review rating with so many reviews. They're also a proud partner of LSU Athletics. And remember, with storm season fast approaching, is it technically here? I don't know. You want a whole home generator, make sure you're protecting you, your family, your frozen meats, like we discussed earlier. Well, Aggietip can come out, give you a free professional estimate, and lead y'all to those answers. Also, ask about the Star Club membership. Aggietip Baton Rouge, AggietipBR.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.